that some consider it a side effect or even something entirely accidental. They exist a much shorter time than symmetriads, only 10 or 15 minutes, and their end is perhaps even more terrible. Because following the hurricane that fills them to bursting with hard, roaring air with a hellish swiftness, they become filled with a liquid that eddies beneath a coating of dirty foam, and that floods over everything, bubbling hideously, after which there follows an explosion, like a volcano of mud erupting, tossing up a disheveled pillar of remnants that for a long time afterwards descend in a macerated rain on the unquiet surface of the ocean. Some of these pieces, carried on the wind, dry as sticks, yellowing and flat, and for this reason resembling membranous bones or cartilage, can be found drifting on the waves dozens of miles from the heart of the explosion. A separate group comprises formations that detach themselves completely from the living ocean for a shorter or longer time. They are much less frequent than the previously mentioned phenomena and much harder to observe. The first time fragments of them were found, they were completely misidentified. It transpired much later as the dead bodies of beings that dwelled in the ocean. At times they appear to be fleeting like strange, multi-winged birds being pursued by the funnels of rapidos. But this concept, borrowed from Earth, once again becomes a wall that cannot be broken. Sometimes, though only very infrequently, on the rocky shores of islands, one can see groups of flightless creatures like pods of seals basking in the sun or lazily crawling to the sea so as to melt into it. In this way, everyone remained within the limitations of human terrestrial concepts. Expeditions traveled hundreds of miles deep inside symmetriads, setting up recording equipment and automatic film cameras. The television eyes of robot satellites captured the germination of mimoids and extensors, their maturation and decease. Libraries filled, archives grew. The cost was sometimes very high. 718 people died in various disasters, having failed to withdraw in time from Colossus, whose time had come. Of these, 106 perished in a single catastrophe that was infamous because their number included Jesse himself, suddenly met the end that usually befalls an asymmetriad. 79 of the victims, wearing armored spacesuits along with their apparatus and machinery, were swallowed up in a matter of seconds by an explosion of muddy slime, whose offshoot struck down 27 others piloting aircraft and helicopters above the formation being investigated. This place, at the intersection of the 42nd parallel and the 89th meridian, is marked on maps as the eruption of the 106. But the point exists on maps alone, since in that place the surface of the ocean is no different than any of its other regions. At that moment, for the first time in the history of research on Solaris, voices were heard calling for the use of thermonuclear strikes. It was to be, in essence, crueler than revenge. It would have meant the destruction of that which we cannot comprehend. Sonkin, the second in command of Jesse's relief team, who survived only thanks to an error, the relay automat had incorrectly indicated the place where the others were studying the symmetriad, such that Sonkin traipsed about all over the ocean and only came to the right place literally minutes after the explosion, seeing the black mushroom cloud as he approached. At the moment when the decision to attack was being weighed, threatened he would blow up the station, along with himself and the other 18 crew members remaining on it. And though it was never admitted that this suicidal ultimatum influenced the vote, it can be assumed such was the case. But the times of such large expeditions visiting the planet are past. The station itself, its construction, supervised from satellites, was an engineering venture on a scale Earth could have been proud of, were it not for the fact that the ocean produced out of itself structures 1,000,000 times larger in the space of seconds. It was built in the form of a disk with a diameter of 650 feet, with 4 stories in the center and 2 around the edges. Suspended between 1,500 and 5,000 feet above the ocean, thanks to gravitors driven by annihilation energy, along with all the equipment usually found on stations and large satellites of other planets. It was additionally provided with special radar sensors that at the first change in the ocean's smooth surface would initiate extra power, bringing the steel disk up into that stratosphere the moment a new living formation showed signs of being born. Now the station was virtually deserted, since the automats had been locked away in the cavernous depositories, for reasons still unknown to me. One could wander the corridors without meeting anyone, like in a drifting wreck whose motors had survived the demise of its crew.